Hello and welcome to another week of building Morak. Last week we got these trees done and I'm pretty happy with them. You guys like them as well, so that's all pretty good going. As I guess no one really liked the palm trees, so I'm going to get rid of those, and also I finally got the parts in to get the rest of the grass work done. So yeah, it should be a productive episode. My hope by the end of this episode is that this entire front strip is what I'm going to call finished, and the back layer, I want all of that foliage done besides the trees. So all of the grass along here to be finished, all of the grass along here to be finished, and the trees along this side to be finished. Trees on that side probably will have to wait for a bit, but I want to get serious progress done this week. So let's start that now by getting to the intro. Now, I talked a lot last week about an issue that I had with a certain tree fitting in here, that by the end of the episode I actually realised a good way to fix it would be by laying it as if the tree had fallen over down here, as if, like, I don't know, the momentum of trucks running through all the time knocked it over or something. So to have it actually lying down flat, rather than it being up and hitting into this or anything over there. I think that will be the best way forward, because I can't really think of anything else, and none of the other ideas really worked, unless, like, I'd have to rework a ton of stuff, which I don't want to do. So yeah, that will be the idea, is that I basically have the tree facing downwards and I've kind of like a big stump sticking out around this area over here. So yeah, excited to get around to that. I've been getting quite busy with my foliage work. You can see here I still need to palmify, is that a word? No. This tree, but you can see I've finished pretty much all of my foliage down here bar one thing. First off, you can see there's these two same palm leaves here. This is basically so that it's able to be lifted up and out, because that's where my switch is to turn off and on my Technic function. So I like that that is now nice and accessible. There we go. See, it's fairly easy to put back in. Moving along here, you can see I've taken out the skiff for the time being. It's over there. That's just as I was working around this area. But I really like how this effect's come along. Basically, the tree stumps become overgrown and it's pushed the tree down. And now leaves are starting to grow over and around it. Along this section here, you can see it's a little bit more bare. That's basically where all the actual leaves of this tree are going to go. So I haven't exactly fully designed that yet, but that will go there in a second. And I really like this like whole stump of grass I've got going up here. I know that's not like crazy, but I really like how that's all come together. So yeah, super happy with that. As I said, I'm going to add the leaves in, add in the skiff, and then I'll get back to you then. Okay, so you can now see that I've got my skiff attached, looking at a fairly nice height in my opinion, because you can see that tree there. It would have just clashed and completely hit if the tree was upstanding. So that's why I had to knock it over. And you can see with all the leaves here, it does look a little bit messy, but that is kind of the effect that I'm going for, to make it look like it has just been knocked down and it is being quite overgrown by everything around it. So I'm pretty happy to say that all this, that shouldn't be there, left that piece out, that besides changing these leaves, I think it's safe to say this strip of stuff, besides those figures as well, is actually finished. So there we go, a finished part of the mock. Woohoo! Okay, so now we've got these this tree section all done over here. I now want to start moving behind here, as I mentioned before. Slight issue being that we've got a couple of things in the way, that being the juggernaut and also the trees, because I can't really build over there. So I'm to quickly, I could either disassemble the whole thing into its individual parts, but that's going to be quite difficult, I think. So I think I'm just going to move this stuff out of the way and start building behind it. Okay, yeah, we're back to this view again. I've pulled out my big brown log, because of course I have, and now we're back to here. Basically, as I said before, I wanted to create a bit of a distance between where the juggernaut sits and this front skiff. So as I said, I'm going to add another, basically one of those teeth pieces along to the right. I don't really have a place to insert that, so I think I'm going to have to attach it from underneath. So that'll be fun. And also, I realised that I do need to move all this stuff out of the way to access this side, because unless I'm stood up doing it, which would just become exceptionally painful over time, I'm just going to take away this base plate and that base plate. And just pull it away. It might even not need to move this one, but this one definitely needs to be moved just out the way, so I can access this a bit easier and actually start working back there. Ignore what's in the corner here. This is me slightly building out of episode order, so that may be covered next week. But anyway, let's put in this little brown. It'll be a tiny little strip, but it should be quite important when it's put in there in the end. Believe it or not, I've done something completely moronic. I was just building my little strip, which is going to go along here, which I'm going to put... Something just fell off. That was the edge of that. When I realised I will just need to move this out of the way just so I can access this a little bit easier. Until I tried to pull it away and then realised, hang on, it's not moving for some reason. So I tried to figure out why. It went down my crack. Sorry. It starts here, it carries up. You can see the crack still there, forming side by side. And it looks like it goes straight through. But for some reason, it is not budging. So my guess is that I, for some reason, have connected these by a plate. Not intentionally, of course. So I'm now going to have to rip off in between these and find out where the intruder is. Okay, that was a lot more annoying than I expected it to be. We've got the split, which is what I wanted, but we've also created quite the mess for ourselves. So love that. Let's now reattach all of that. Hopefully, I'll have to look back at what I shot before, and let's get this all back in the right place. Okay, I have now reset the grass. I've got these pieces left over. No idea where they went, so I definitely didn't set it back in the exact right space. But these should now easily pull apart like so. Don't know. Oh, just realized that was actually connecting over, so I was just about to make the exact mistake again, so I will change that. But besides that, these are now ready to be pulled apart. Lovely. Okay, I kind of forgot to record any actual footage in this section, but pretty much I just started working on those base plates on the other side of the juggernaut, and this is what the first one looks like. Wow, part supplies go down quickly. So you can see here I finished the first of the, basically it's about 3 base plates of equal size that I'm going to be working on. And I think I've finished off this first one. And I'm really happy with how it's all come together. You can see here I've got a new different like leaf technique. It's not a technique, but a new piece I'm using, which is these ones. Because I was very kindly sent a nice bag of them from my friend SW Bricks and Figs, so thank you for that. Basically, so I'm gonna have to make some patches of these and also put some into the trees just to like bulk out the foliage and make it a bit more interesting with different types of pieces. Luckily, I've got a nice bag of these hollow studs in reddish brown, which I can stick them into. So with that, these like first sections, I will dig up a little bit just to put, like I've made it already, like a couple of little prototype type areas, which I'm just going to stick in here or there. But yeah, I'm quite happy with how this section all looks. I like how it's got different raised and lower areas. Like this is a slightly raised area, this is all a slightly raised area with like a thinner bit going through it, just to kind of make the foliage look a little bit different and not so just even. You can see here I am slightly starting to run out of pieces. There's a lot less tile in this section and a lot more studs. Obviously, besides the sections where I'll be putting in trees, see if you can pick the 2 other places where there is not currently a tree where I'm going to put trees. It's that stud and that stud. I have not built those trees yet, so they will go in there once they are built. But you can see, as I said, on this section, I do want to have a lot more trees, but still keep quite a lot of foliage. And I'm quite happy with how this foliage looks. So yeah, let's put this back over there and see if I've got enough parts to start the next one. Let's do it. Okay, if we look up here, you can see I've replenished my lime green stocks, so I can get to work on my next base plate. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so it's a few hours later, and I've now basically finished my second base plate. You can see I've still got one more over there. I'm not going to be able to get that finished this week, but basically here you can see my second one. Again, similar to that one, not as detailed as these front sides, basically because they're just going to be mainly in the background and not seen too much. But I've got a couple more clumps of those plants there. 3 more tree spots, that being there, and that white one up there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm going to go for like basically 3 trees per base plate. So it'll be like 9 in the back and then about 3 in the front, with that other one down being knocked down, which makes 12.5 trees total, about that. So I'll build the trees in a couple of weeks because I need the parts in for that. I've got like still quite a lot of lime green left, but like I'm horrifically running out of this color here, and basically all my useful parts like tiles I'm getting really low on. Like all of my tiles now are basically just jumpers. That is it for my lime green brick left. I've got 4 1x2s, and that's about it for lime green brick. So yeah, supplies are low, so that will do it for this week's episode. But hopefully you did enjoy the progress of these 2 base plates, as well as this one over here with this little knockdown tree. I'm really happy with how it's all come out. If you liked it, like the video. That's what the like button's there for. Comment if you like this is probably my favourite thing that I've worked on this week, the knockdown tree. And subscribe if you're new so you not miss the next week's progress, which I may have already built and may or may not be sneakily in the corner over there, or at least what I've done so far. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it, and goodbye.